and welcome to this fresh episode of Point-Counterpoint, our weekly discussion and debate show. This week we are addressing an elephant in the room which has crept into the homogeneous fabric of Goa. Homogeneous, secular, all-inclusive fabric, and the elephant in the room, which has come in more as a narrative and a political narrative, one may add, is this whole issue of supposed religious conversions and the angst and the panic and the trepidation which surrounds this whole issue. The government of the day seems to feel that there is an atmosphere in our Goan society where there are attempts at forcible conversions. The unsaid part here is that the conversions are happening into Christianity from other faiths. That's the inherent message, though that has not been explicitly stated anywhere, one must add, surely. But what we are here to discuss is not just the issue of forced conversions, but the apparent atmosphere where the ruling party of the day seems to suggest that there is this tension between communities, and these tensions are being perpetrated by attempts by one faith, mainly the minorities, against the majority. But again, this is again a narrative. These are thoughts. These are discussions. But there are a lot of things to unpack in this particular narrative, and one needs to go into various nuances. But we are really privileged today to have one of the finest minds in the state to discuss this, debate this, and we have as many as 3 lawyers, one of whom happens to be in the Congress, one of whom happens to be in the BJP, and one of whom is supposedly neutral and can bring in a lot of spice into this. In addition to that, we have a priest, and who completes the foursome, as it were.
And the priest, for the record, is also an advocate of the church for ecclesiastical matters.
Amazing, yes, correct. I was just so. Without further ado, I'll start. I will start with Father Mohsin Atayed. Welcome, Father. He's a former professor of philosophy and theology at Pilar and Rashol. He's currently at the Saligaon Seminary. Next to him is Advocate Yatish Nayak in his new avatar and his new phase of life, where he's the spokesperson of the BJP. And of course, needless to add, would be one of its most articulate ones. On my left is Advocate Srinivas Khalap, who is the Secretary of the Congress, and obviously comes from a very, very well-known and established political and legal family. And last but not the least is Advocate Radharao Gracias, the man for all seasons and for almost every major issue that Goa needs to debate on. I will start with Father Mohsin, as per protocol. Father, I have no further questions to ask. I've spoken a lot. Your first thoughts on whatever I've said.
See, this issue of law for conversions, I find that it is not necessary. First of all, any law to be made, you require empirical studies. How many conversions are taking place? How many are forced? What is the reason? No such study has been made. So on what is this law is being based? First. Second, we have got the constitutional right to freedom of conscience, to express, to practice, to express, and to propagate. And then the state which wishes to interfere in these affairs of conscience is simply entering into a ground which is not its own. I remember that Mahatma Gandhi would say that government is the best which governs the least. Now this government wishes to legislate about everything.
Okay, Father, we'll dwell on this a little more. The opening remarks. Yatish from the BJP, the charge is that the government is entering into areas that are not within its domain.
No, that's not correct. See, what the Constitution provides is known to all. What the Constitution prescribes in Article 25 and so on prevails upon this country is supreme. The question is about forced conversions. Please understand this. Now, as far as that subject is concerned, of forced conversions, there is no law at the moment to deal with it directly. So, in view of that, I do not agree to your charge. See, please understand, a state has to be governed in a good way. And for that, if a law is necessitated, then the necessity of the law has to be appreciated. Notwithstanding the supremacy of the Constitution, because the Constitution, what it says, is known to all. Article 25 prevails, is supreme, there is no doubt.
Correct.
But the issue is of forced conversions. That is the issue.
But doesn't 295A cover it? Prevention of the outrage of religious feelings.
No, please understand it. That those provisions of the penal law are pertaining to hurting religious sentiments, creating animosity and things like that. Here the issue is about somebody being allured or somebody being forced to change a faith. There is no direct law which contains in its realm and domain, in its definitional domain, this aspect.
Okay.
Therefore, if the necessity is felt, now the Chief Minister has spoken on this. So, he said very clearly what he has to say. So, if the necessity of the law is found by the government, by the administrative machinery of the state, you have to understand that the necessity is in view of this.
Okay, I'll ask you a question and then Radharao, then Yatish can respond to it. My question here is that, as Advocate Yatish Naik said, that you need to have a law to prevent against forcible conversions. My question to you is, in your view, do you think that there is enough empirical data, as Father had pointed out, to suggest that there is a fear or need or apprehension of this law to be brought in at this stage?
You are asking?
Yes.
See, first of all, about the data, with what Father is talking about, let the ruling party come forward. How come all of a sudden they felt that there is a necessity of this law? In our country, there have been anti-conversion laws in the past. In fact, if you go to the anti-conversion law history in our country, Madhya Pradesh was, I think, one of the first governments.
That's correct. Madhya Pradesh is there,
Congress
Himachal is
government
there,
at that time.
Orissa is there, yes.
Okay, which brought anti-conversion law.
Right.
They felt that there is a necessity. Again, we know that all this is limited only to forced conversion. Only in that regard you can make a law. But how come all of a sudden the Chief Minister felt, after the election, once he became the Chief Minister, that there is a need here? Has he come forward with such data to the public? You are Chief Minister of the state, you are representative of the people of Goa. From what you gathered that there is a necessity here, that first government should clarify. And this data should be kept in front of the public. There should be debate and discussion. What is required, how it is required, why it is required, and how we can do it.
Okay. Rather, taking off from where he left off and what Yatish said, that look, we need to have a serious law to prevent forcible conversions, because that seems to be the danger to society at this point of time.
See, what happens now, BJP is a political party. Now they are in power at the center for the last 8 years. Now coming to power, normally all political parties use all sorts of tactics, including polarization, which the BJP has been doing. Polarization of people on community lines. But after some years, you have to show economic advancement. You have to show that you have a government and that the government has improved the economic condition of the people. Now these laws are coming precisely because the government has failed to deliver on economics front. So what they are now trying to further polarize the people. Let us look at what happened in Goa. Before the elections, the chief minister announces that we will reconstruct demolished temples. Sets aside rupees 20 crores for that. And now we have this suddenly, this John and Dominic issue.
Yes.
Now this is a pattern. To me it appears that BJP is convinced that it has failed to deliver on the economic and development front, therefore polarize further. Now as father had said, what about the data? See, the data is very much available. The Christian population, see, this is directed largely against the Christians because the conversion sort of is against Christians. There's hardly any conversion into Islam. So in 1951 census, the percentage of Christians to the general population was 2.3. 2011, it is still 2.3. So where is the conversion? See, there is no conversions. There is no data to show conversion. What the BJP is trying to do is to go on polarizing the people so that they can capitalize on this by fracturing the people. Unfortunately, that is the unfortunate part. And secondly, why is the state concerned with conversions? The state has no religion. No state has a religion. So whether the people tomorrow are all Muslims or Hindus or Christians is not a concern of the state. Now, if you go through the debates of the partition, Muhammad Ali Jinnah's cardinal point was that Muslims will be a permanent minority in Hindu India. The Hindus will dictate. And therefore he was demanding parity of seats. Meaning he said no matter how many Muslims there are, you give the Muslims and Hindus equal number of seats. That was his argument. And he felt that Hindus will not give them space to breathe. And now it is proving correct. Because we are finding that the Hindus have coalesced into one group and they are working against the minorities. And this is the only instance where people who are 80% seem to be afraid of just 15 or 16%. Absurd, man.
What the government is saying, Advocate Radharao, is, and what the BJP spokesperson also is saying, that all that you are saying is fine, but forcible conversion cannot happen.
See, the whole problem is not a forcible conversion. This is a forcible attempt to prevent conversions. That is the law. The law is to prevent forcibly prevent conversions. See, the government has to, if there are conversions, the community whose people are converting must first identify why people are converting.
Right.
You see, you let us look at Dominic and Joan.
Right.
They have some church or whatever, 5 pillars at Sodian.
Yeah, for the benefit of the viewers, Dominic and Joan are a couple who are who practice, propagate, their version, and they are believers, and they
are the targets right now.
Operate out of Shioli. And Dominic was recently arrested and let off on bail for the very charges that we are talking of right now.
So now, as I was saying,
yes.
See, this Dominic and Joan have some church.
Yes.
Where
yes.
people come from, it's open church.
Yes.
Just like a temple.
5 pillars church in Shioli.
5 pillar church.
Yes. Yeah.
A church is open to everybody to enter and pray.
Right.
A temple is open for everybody to enter and pray.
Right.
A mosque also. So everybody has the right to go there. So he opens his 5 pillar church. And then people come there, all types of people. And he preaches whatever he wants. Where is the force there? Are you forcibly brought there? No. I don't understand where is this force. If you have to go and pull people up and baptize them, that was force. You come to his church, you listen to him, and maybe he misleads you, as all political parties do. They mislead people. They offer 15 lakhs if you win election, and at the end of the day, you don't get even 15 rupees. So are you prosecuting the one who offered you 15 lakhs? So all these sort of things happen, no?
Okay. Yatish, quick question. Where is the forcible conversion?
Where it is, I'll tell you. Now, I am not taking any names because that's not what I want to do. But there were complaints filed at the police station based on which this action was taken. So,
let's go beyond
whatever action has been taken on record, which you all have bought, media has got to the people. This is got to the people by the media. You all have reported it. That there were complaints filed in police station as regards some incidents which have precipitated into FIRs. And based on that, whoever has been arrested or whatever action has been taken.
We have also reported that, that the bail order that came immediately.
Bail order is, see, please understand, when an FIR is filed, It is not this that he has to be in jail continuously. So the court decides whether somebody has to get bail or somebody should not get bail. That is different.
Okay.
But the question is, let me answer first. Number one, there were complaints which were reported by you all to the people, you all brought to the notice, that complaints were filed on this issue which precipitated those FIRs. Now that's number one, by investigating agencies. Number two,
Let's go beyond this.
BJP, please understand, BJP at the center under Prime Minister Modi is in his second term. Okay? As far as Goa is concerned, it is in its third consecutive term. Earlier also, BJP was in power in Goa. Earlier also, in the center also BJP was there. So, please understand, just 5-6 days back, the central government has released figures where India has appeared as the prime investment destination in the world.
Yatish, can we just stick to the conversion part?
Why I'm telling you? Because Dotor made a statement that your attention is not on economy and you are wanting to polarize. Please understand.
Okay.
As far as economy is concerned, economy is concerned, economy is a area where a lot of attention is being paid. There are a lot of challenges appearing. Even here, because of COVID, there's so many challenges are appearing.
Okay.
But economy is an area which is being attended to appropriately. Now, as far as polarization is concerned, which is a charge by him, I completely deny it because, therefore I said, we are in power in what term? In third consecutive term. You should understand it. When a party is returned to power in a third term, it is out of not these kind of things, but it is out of people's mandate.
Okay, fair enough. But I'll still press on this very point. My issue is, okay, let's leave the Dominic and his wife's
I have
case
not taken names. You all have taken.
Fine, fair enough. We are talking of the Shioli case. Shioli case is one incident which has suddenly come into light and has become huge. The larger issue is that this whole issue of bringing in anti-conversion law has not come about because of the Shioli incident. Okay, the BJP somehow feels that anti-conversion law is necessary because it feels that there is a fear in society that this is happening. I'm only trying to understand the genesis of that fear. All this while, you lived in Goa, you've grown up in Goa.
Nobody has to have any fear. Now, if at all, first of all, please understand Chief Minister's statement.
Right.
He said the government may. So, therefore, if the government so feels, then the government may, and the government will take a decision in consideration of all these legal parameters and everything. But one thing I can tell you, the Constitution says very clearly what it has to say in Article 25. That is settled,
right,
and that is supreme because it is a constitutional guarantee.
On that there is no
How can there be a debate on Article 25? It is a constitutional guarantee.
Correct.
Therefore, the issue is about forced conversions. And forced conversions are not permitted by the Constitution. So if there is a law, and if a law is felt to deal with the issue of forced conversions, because of late you see all these complaints coming to the fore, then the government will take an appropriate decision. And if the law is so necessitated, then the requirement of the law you can understand based on all these complaints that are coming. So please understand, it is against forced conversions.
All these complaints,
it is against forced conversions.
Fair enough.
So anybody who is not into forced conversions should not worry.
Anyway, for the record, there has been just one complaint.
No, the issue is no one trusts the police and the establishment. They are part of the government. A phone call and anyone tomorrow Radharao can be arrested for forced conversion. This is the whole trouble. You see, it is not the law. The enforcement of the law is the trouble. We know, everybody knows how a police officer is just waiting for a phone call from some RSS man and they will register an offense.
That's not
this is the trouble.
Police, understand. If a particular section has to be, misadventured into, it can be misadventured into, but there are systemic checks which do not allow such misadventures. That is what I am saying. Okay. Now, police, can they do anything under the sun? They can't do. Please understand. They can't do. There may be excesses. I'm not saying no. And if there are excesses, action has to be taken. There is no doubt. Okay. If there is any excess in implementation of any law by police or by there is a check and system in the system. Is it so free like that? It is not like that.
Well, that is a much larger debate, and there cannot be a yes or no answer. But it will be very difficult for us to agree and say that the police does not perpetrate any kind of excesses and does not function
Police should not,
as a caged parrot of the government.
Which do not allow the police.
Okay, moving on. Father, you see, I'll draw your attention to one particular statement made by Rajeshwar Singh, a very senior RSS functionary, in the year 2020. Okay, and I'm going to quote. He says, RSS will make India free of Christians and Muslims by December 2021. I'll just pause here. I want you to react to this. And do you feel that this particular statement is a isolated statement made by a functionary and has no connection with any political party, or do you feel that is this particular tenet or narrative is being felt in society today?
See, what happens, I've followed some of these RSS fellows. RSS ideology, BJP ideology. It is not that I'm totally ignorant of them. They are very studious. Very studious, and they know what are their moorings, what are their foundations. This statement is a foundation of the is a foundation of the philosophy of RSS. For them, RSS and the other Bajrang Dal, all the allied
organizations.
For them, the ideology is this. Hindi, Hindu, Hindustan. Hindi, one nation, one language, one law. So this is the ideology.
You are saying that this is the core of the whole issue, right?
We may not know.
Okay.
It may be very easy to deny. Very easy, as he denied, for example, any excesses by the police and so on. And who has made the complaint? Probably, maybe some of these belonging to the parivar who have been instructed, "Are baba tum kar de, tu kar de." This is how BJP works, and I am very sad that this, my friend, is there.
This is a country.
I'll come back to.
Please understand. This is a country which believes in the theory of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, where you say world is a family. So these kind of arguments I do not agree to, because we have propounded the concept of Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
Atish, this Vasudeva Kutumbakam is nothing but nonsense. You see, if that is so, how come India is the most fragmented society? How come you have Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Shudras, untouchables? Who has created them? You all create people. You create the laws, you exploit them, put them down and tell us of Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
I am telling you, Doctor, that this is a country where our philosophy,
what is the fact, man? The fact
is that world is a family.
The fact is, Constitution has made reservations for people exploited by your philosophy.
Let both of them continue.
No, not at all. Why do you say that? Vasudeva Kutumbakam is at the core philosophy of the civilization.
No.
Where is the question?
BJP and
who disagrees with it?
No, not a matter of, I can have all the exalted philosophies. What is the ground reality?
The ground reality is that this is a government
which
works for everybody. I do not know why you say that.
No, the ground reality is that the Constitution has to make a provision for reservation of scheduled castes who have been exploited by Vasudha Kutumbakam. Then
please understand, the
reservation for
Constitution has
OBCs.
come into
No,
force
if the whole world is one, where is the need for reservations? Why have the reservations come? Your philosophy is on your books. Ground reality is that it is a philosophy which suppresses, oppresses people.
No.
That is why there are reservations, man.
No, see, I put it this way.
I'm enjoying this.
Doctor has put what he wants to put.
No, I have
but I put it like this, that the Constitution has come into force in the 1950. The guarantee of a reservation is a constitutional guarantee which finds a prominent place in the scheme of the constitutional democratic framework. So, if a particular section deserves more attention and encouragement, then that is provided within the constitutional framework. So, that in no way is inconsistent or attacks the theory of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which I said in reply to Father's statement.
No, just let me see what happens. Whatever philosophy, what is the reality? The reality is that Constitution has to make a provision for victims of your Vasunda Kutumbakam, whatever you call it, because these are victims, man. The Dalits are victims.
Let's pause here. We'll have one round
to answer.
Yeah, of course. I mean, see, I was quiet for the last 3 minutes. I was just waiting for a free flow exchange. But Dr. Khalap, I get you in here. See, I just picked up a few strands from what both of them were just now saying. See, what happens is that in many places where I will not say forcible or otherwise, when people have converted from one faith to the other, okay?
Correct.
In many cases, and Father might bear me out on this, it also happens when there are issues like poverty, neglect, suffering, and there is a belief that if you move from one faith to the other on your own free will, because the current system is not working otherwise, or you get influenced by a particular tenet or a particular preacher or whatever, you embrace it. My point is, this is not only happening where people are moving from Hinduism to Christianity or otherwise. People have embraced different kinds of faiths. I mean, some people have become Shaivites, some people have embraced Buddhism, some people have, become believers and so on and so forth. So, the point is, do you agree that a lot of this movement is happening because of societal imbalances?
See, we have had convergence in our country. First of all, what is a conversion? It is change of heart. We have the best example of a real conversion was with Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. He studied all the religions, compared them all, and then finally he came to a conclusion that this particular religion I am born into, I need to change, and this is the religion after my studies I have found out that this is the best religion for me. And he decided, he explained it to his followers, and with him, his lakhs of followers joined Buddhism. This we have seen. I have also been to certain places in our country where conversions to Christianity have taken place. For example, I'll give you an example of Orissa, where I have been extensively to the Mayurbhanj district of Orissa.
Where Graham Staines did work.
Yes, where Staines were murdered. And there what I found, the region, people are so poor that you can just imagine. Poverty is absolute. At the same time, region is so rich. I have seen, mountains of granite. Just you have to take a vehicle, put them in the car and take it away, sell it. But at the same time, people don't have anything. And this was because of the social system. One particular group has captured all the resources of the state. And majority of the people, they don't have anything even to eat. At such time, if somebody comes to them, he offers them education, he offers them food. We have been hearing a term called rice bag converts, used by some of the friends of my learned friend here. But somebody comes to them, he offers them medicine. Why will they not accept? When they are at the survival stage.
Right.
However, there is a difference. My friend was saying forceful conversion, where there is no definition of forceful conversion anywhere. But we have in law, we have coercion, cheating. If somebody comes to you and you are, say, suppose you are having malaria. He says, I have some magical power, this some magical cure. I give it to you. And then along with it, I give you quinine tablet in powder form. Do some mantra over it, some magic thing. And I say, you take this, my magic potion, and you will be okay. If you become okay, you should join my group. That is cheating.
Right.
Right? If that is the case, now again we have to see on case-to-case basis.
Sure.
When
sure.
FIRs are filed, investigation takes place, and thereafter. For rest of the things, you cannot blame the poor person. If somebody is helping him and he's showing his gratitude, and he feels that in this system I will not get justice, That is why I'm changing. And now, because he's changing, you bring a law to forcefully not allow him to do what he wants.
Sujoy, yes, I'll add to what he said.
Okay, that'll go
You see, it is said a drowning man will even catch hold of a straw. I will give you one classic example of a common friend of ours who was an MLA, Vishnu Wag. Now, Vishnu Wag was a brilliant fellow. No one can dispute that. Good mind, everything. But he, unfortunately fell critically ill. Someone told their family that in South Africa there is a preacher. If he prays over you, he will recover. The family took Vishnu Wag to South Africa.
Right.
And of course, not unexpectedly, nothing worked. But he assumed that something had worked and Vishnu Wag had recovered. He would have probably come here and become a Christian and would have said, see here, this is what has happened to me. See, finally, these are all things, matter of the timing that's happening.
Right. Okay, Father. Now, completely, as a priest, you know it all, and we are aware of what happened in Mayurbhanj. I was, in fact, as a young reporter, I covered the Gramstein's gruesome murder. But tell me, as a man of faith and who's also taught a lot, in Christianity.
But one thing, I don't represent the authorities here of the church. I am an individual.
Yeah, you're an individual, but you're somebody who studied the law well, who understands it very well. You're a priest, and so which is why I'm asking you in that capacity. Is that as far as the religion itself is concerned, and see, conversions have happened. People have embraced Christianity.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it. But where does this this allegation of force or coercion or inducement is I think a more first, if you can step back and analyze why this is happening, why you feel these charges are coming in, and B, do tell us that when missionaries go to preach, what really happens in terms of giving that option of people to embrace the faith.
See, if you ask me, my philosophy is this. I will preach and tell Hindus become better Hindus.
Right.
I will tell Muslims, you become better Muslims.
Right.
I will tell Christians, be better Christians.
Right.
But if suppose someone, after hearing me, wants to become a Christian, who am I to prevent?
Right.
Who am I to prevent? And who is this government to prevent? I feel this, and this is a charge which I responsibly make against the BJP. He has violated and is violating the ethos of our nation. BJP, RSS. If we require any law, is to prevent political conversions, which happen galore. You are today
in power,
a candidate of one party. The other day you are a spokesman of another party. Not only that. What is this our political propaganda during elections?
Yes.
Is there no allurement?
Father, that is where I want to agree with you.
Is there no force? Are there no threats? Are there no frauds? Only a deaf, only a dumb, and only a
completely dishonest
blind person will deny that. What we require, I believe, Sujay, what I require is a law to prevent such political conversions, is to prevent such political
forcible conversion.
I want to answer.
Yeah, before we take a break, last word, Yatish, then we take a short break.
I want to answer.
Yes, please.
You please look at the mandate of Article 25. I have heard to what Father has to say very carefully.
Right.
You see Article 25. It is very clear in its realm. It's very clear. Every person has got a right to practice, propagate his own faith. There is no doubt about it. So why is the unnecessary worry about it? The question is, Let us keep to the issue.
No, only one thing.
Let me answer.
No, I don't want to interfere.
After the break,
I
we will answer this very question. Why is there an unnecessary worry? We'll start with that.
Yes.
No,
After
I
the break.
want to answer it first of all.
This worry has been created by the BJP.
Nobody has created anything.
Okay, please answer.
That's what I'm telling you. Article 25 is very clear. Now, if a law is being precipitated out of the circumstances and situations to deal with forced conversions, which is a different issue. Forced conversions is something which is beyond the scope of 25.
Okay.
Now, what is the worry? What is the fear? What father has said that somebody wants to this and that, and that is one part of the story. But the law, which is not existing on the table today, is not there in the domain, is a law to take care of forced conversions. Okay. Now, just tell me one thing. You show me the provision of law. You show me in the penal code where a forced conversion becomes an offense. You show me in the penal law, the scheme of penal law today,
okay,
where a forced conversion becomes an offense.
Okay.
So if a law is let me answer.
No, let a lawyer answer.
No. Let me say, and then whoever can answer, including father, because he has tried to speak of political conversions. Please understand, political conversions, those who change parties, change, and some of them are elected back. Who is the decider are the people. Let us not consider that we sitting here are repositories of the Almighty. Please understand, in a democracy, who is supreme is the people. The people decide whom they want. Now BJP has come to power with 20. How they have come? Through the vote. They have come because people have voted for them. Like I know some people from the opposition party were saying there was a wave of Congress.
See, democracy unfortunately is a game of numbers.
Please
it's not necessarily always a game. It's not necessarily a game of the will of the people always. The way our democracy is structured,
please
numbers play a bigger part than the will of the people.
You are
not going anywhere. I am trying to answer what is posed to me.
Okay.
When father went and
because
spoke all that,
even I can say more than 65% people have voted against BJP, only 30% people have voted for BJP.
I would have really liked if Srinivas had to intervene there also. Okay? Because if you go through history, there are enough of people who have changed parties because situations and circumstances are necessitated. There are people who have joined Congress from BJP. Father should speak on that also.
Of course.
That they should speak.
Radha, we ended the last segment with Father Mohsin talking about political conversions as an aside. And the BJP spokesperson, Advocate Naik, spoke about the fact that ultimately people are supreme and why are we even getting there and talking about political conversions when people ultimately this thing. This again, of course, was an offshoot of what Advocate Khalap actually said, that during elections people go with rice bags and there's conversions and inducements. Why don't you talk of that? Will you just sum up all these things and give your point of view?
No, see what happens now. Now Yatish justified political conversions. Forcible political
I didn't justify.
No, you justified on the ground that people re-elect them.
No, I said ultimately in a democracy, people are the judges.
Yeah. Therefore, from your point of view, political conversions, forcible or allured, are justified if the voters re-elect them. Now, if that is the case, let me go a little further. Father and myself, we are descendants of people who were, let us say, converted centuries ago. And now we are here in Goa. Now, conversion was forcible or not, we do not know, at least if we do not know. Now, but if it is a question that as a result of the conversions, we contribute more to the country, we are better, like if you are re-elected, you are better. I will just give examples. You see, if you look at the Indian Armed Forces, according to a statement given in Parliament on 13th December 2021, the country is short of 9,362 officers in the armed forces. There is a shortage of 1,15,000 ordinary personnel. Now, if you look at the Goans in the armed forces, the official records show that 91% of those in the armed forces are converts. Now, why are you opposed to conversion then? You have more converts, there will be lesser shortage of personnel in the armed forces. Now, I mean, I am saying this because if you are re-elected, after joining a party, if that is fine,
But
you allow
they
more
were-
conversions,
They did
forcible or
not join
otherwise.
the armed forces because they were converts. It just
No,
it just happens to be.
they become more nationalists. When there is a shortage, how come those who are opposing conversion, why don't they join the army? Why don't they go and fight on the border? Why should the converts who are deemed to be anti-nationals go and fight for the country? Why should it be that 25% of the people provide 91% of the armed forces? Why should it be that in the Goa police force, no Catholic is admitted in? How many Catholics are there? Not even 7%. Are we good enough to fight for the country and die on the borders? Not good enough to join the police force here? When it comes to police recruitment, no Catholics are appointed. Why? I am pointing this out because this hurts me. I see what is happening. So don't tell us we are not patriotic. Conversion has made us more patriotic than the non-converts who don't even want to join the army. The only generals I have seen from the non-converts are those sitting behind the counters of general stores. Our people have gone and fought as generals. They are major generals, lieutenant generals. So conversion should not be objected. Let there be more conversion.
Okay.
This has gone astray.
No,
Why astray?
it's a point that is made. Anyway, the next topic, I think, we've heard both sides, points very well taken, but I think let us move on and introduce another element to this whole debate. You see, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, in Orissa, in Gujarat, and in Himachal Pradesh, these are 5 states where there's an anti-conversion act. Maharashtra attempted it in the assembly but did not ultimately get passed. I'll start with, Srinivas, and then I'll throw it open to the floor. The point here is that all these states found it necessary because they felt that there was some gap in legislation that were there. So obviously 5 assemblies, when they pass it, then there is a felt need of by elected representatives to legislate on a matter like this. And if that is the case, then that strengthens the point or adds more strength to what Yatish has been saying, that there is a felt need. Otherwise 5 states wouldn't have made it. So just respond to that.
See, always this entire our Indian constitution is based on one word: balance. Whatever the government does, it should be balanced with fundamental rights of the people on one side and the state action on other side. If that balance is lost, your law will not pass the test of the constitution. Earlier, you see the difference where you mentioned the Maharashtra Act.
Yes.
Look at the provisions of that act. Why that act was opposed. The new Maharashtra Act against conversion vis-a-vis the provisions of earlier Madhya Pradesh Act, for example.
Okay, this is very important. Yes, please. Yes.
When the Madhya Pradesh Assembly, or even the earlier when the states passed them, they felt the need, yes, with the earlier I mentioned, what is the difference between coercion and real conversion. They felt that there is a problem here, that problem needs a solution. They found this solution in form of the act, but they also balanced it. They saw that the provisions will not be too severe, too harsh. On the other hand, Maharashtra found that their own act has a lot of problems. The way now the new thinking is coming up, as if somebody choosing a new religion is a crime. This is what kind of philosophy that is being articulated. There is a problem with that, this type of thought process. On the other hand, what Maharashtra has done, we were discussing one particular case which is now under investigation here in Goa. For that, they brought Anti-Superstition Act.
Yes.
Instead of anti-conversion law.
Who did that?
Maharashtra has done.
Right. Okay.
And this was a lifetime project, you can say, of Dr. Dabolkar. He paid his life with his life. They killed him. But Maharashtra government went ahead with the law proposed. If there is an element of cheating in conversion and trying to misappropriate that person's property and everything by way of any magical remedies, yes, they felt that this is wrong.
Okay.
What I feel, Goa government should look at this. Magical Remedies Act is a better remedy then going for some anti-conversion law,
Correct.
which you have.
Yeah,
on
because
the
as the
basis
chief,
of,
as the chief minister said in the
mere
Dominic
psychosis.
case, he said that Dominic was using magic to convert people. Anyway, rather, I'll ask you the same question. If 5 states found it necessary to have the anti-conversion law, and obviously the legislations have passed it, what is the issue? Because those 5 states must have used their wisdom to do it.
See, it is too hard to believe that our political parties use wisdom anymore. So everything is done, everything is geared up to protect the interests of the party in power. That is the way legislation is framed.
I will once again name the states: Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Gujarat, and Himachal Pradesh.
Yes. Now, these state parties in power, they bring in legislation which suits them politically. So, there's nothing has to be read that they are done for public good. Now, conversion is, according to me, should be the least of the issues. These states or the country as a whole should pay attention to other issues. Now, according to an answer given on 14/12/2021 in the Lok Sabha, the number of Indians who have renounced Indian citizenship is 8,84,254 in the last 7 years. Now, after Modi came to power, how is that so many Indians, almost so many of mostly from the majority community, why have they renounced Indian citizenship? And where have they gone? They have gone and settled in Christian countries like USA, Canada, UK or Australia. Why are they doing that? This is where the BJP should be concerned with. Now again, in the last 7 years, 23,000 millionaires have immigrated from India. Now these are people who are contributing to the economy. They have all chosen to migrate, and that includes BJP supporter like Akshay Kumar, who is settled in Canada. Now why are these people going? This conversion from Indian national to foreign national is what the BJP should be paying attention to. Why are these people renouncing this country? Forget renouncing your religion. Why are they renouncing the land? And these are not ordinary folks. They are not going with Portuguese passport. These are people who are highly qualified persons who are going there because those countries encourage people with degrees and qualifications to come. So they are getting qualified here at state cost and they are going abroad. Bring in a law to stop that. Bring in a law that would stop doctors, engineers who are passing out from IIT and all going and contributing to America. Do that.
Yatish, why are so many people renouncing Indian citizenship and going abroad, including millionaires in Modi's India, from Modi's India to Christian countries?
No, it's wrong to say Christian countries and all that. I'll not go into that way. I'll not look at that issue that way.
Okay, so tell us how you...
I do not want to look at it such a sectarian way. But I would look at it like this.
Okay.
That
respond to the facts that
some people perhaps may be feeling that for business or education or higher education, they may go there, then they come back. So these things happen.
No, this is a renouncing citizenship.
Let me say, I know of so many people
they are not coming back
who have renounced citizenship here and gone to Portugal or gone to UK or gone somewhere. So what do you have to say on that?
No, so those are...
Please understand.
No, we will say that.
So
respond to what Radha was saying.
There are so many people who go out because they want higher education in better specialized universities of those micro subjects that
he's talking of millionaires who have gone, who are well settled in life.
Yes. See, maybe for business, I do not know specific cases. I do not know that I can say, because each thing has case to case basis. You need an approach. You cannot just generalize and say to go on to Christian countries and this. It doesn't work that way. Now I will go to the main issue. I do not want to transgress. As far as what my friend Advocate Khalap said, Magic Remedies Prevention Act is one angle, is to deal with one set of facts. Magic Remedies Prevention Act is to deal with one set of offences. But the moot question is there a law to deal with forced conversions? That is the issue. See, I feel that father also is getting a little confused with the subject. It is like this. We are talking of forced conversions. The mandate of 25 of the Constitution is settled. That's what I'm saying. If you read 25, it is a constitutional guarantee
See, Yatish.
which is
Fair enough.
embedded in the framework.
See, Atish, the issue is that the reason why this discussion is happening, let's go back to the core.
Is because that there is no law and some circumstances are happening.
No, that is a point in the debate. The reason why the debate is happening is that everybody, or most right-thinking individuals in the state, are wondering where is this issue of forced conversion suddenly appearing in our landscape? Because you'll understand it all along.
Yes, of
Goa
course.
has,
Where is
Goa has
the
been
force?
an extremely
Where do you see it?
homogeneistic
Goa has
society.
been, Goa continues to be, Goa should be. Where is the
Yes,
doubt?
the issue is that my point is that when the bridge is not broken, why are we even thinking of bringing a law to build the bridge when the bridge is intact?
See, it's like
the,
this.
the bridge of harmony, the bridge of absolute harmony among religions, the bonhomie among faith, and the love and affection that people have different faiths have for each other, is something that is an example for the rest of the
Yes,
world,
yes.
and that is something
And should continue to
and
be.
that is something that the honorable governor has said recently on Statehood Day, where he espoused that different states should see Goa as a prime example of this, and Goa is a state where this our fabric is absolutely intact. So when this whole conversation about bringing in this law happens, it almost gives the impression that there is a problem in Goa. My point is, if you are saying it in Chhattisgarh, in Orissa and other places, yes, there have been instances where the view has moved towards the fact that yes, there could have been some force or coercion, mainly because of the existing socio-economic conditions in those states. The same conditions don't prevail in Goa. So the issue is, the apprehension is, why is this a felt need? That is the apprehension. Father, please respond.
Again, no, let me answer
Sure,
first and
and then
let
Father.
go to
Sure,
Father.
sure.
See, understand this first. I am still on my moot point, and that will answer take sufficient this of your answer question.
Yeah.
Article 25, we have to first, you please read that Article 25 otherwise for your viewers also. Article 25's mandate is very clear. It is settled. So there should be no apprehension about Article 25 and its governing mandate. It is settled. Now, as far as a law which could be introduced, because if it is so felt, and if a law is introduced, like in other states, where forced conversions have to be dealt with, because there is no law at the moment. Otherwise, you please show me where there is a definition of forced conversions and a law which corresponds to it in penal form.
So basically you are talking about something which does not exist.
No, it's not something exists. Please understand. It's only that you have to open your newspapers and read it and what is happening around. Why did this incident which Dr. mentioned, I mean, this incident came up, there were complaints. After
One complaint.
That is not the issue, 1 or 100 or whatever. Now, is there a law to deal with that situation? Is there a law to deal with that situation in clear crystal terms, or the law is required?
Yatish, are you saying that this law is required because of this
For
one
one man?
complaint?
I am not saying that. I am saying that a particular situation, if you want to address it, because there is no law at the moment and calls for a law, and that is forced conversion, then please don't mix it with the other guarantees in the Constitution.
Okay, Father,
it is
before
only to deal with forced conversion.
Fair enough. Father, before I go to you, I think one has to mention that all the states where the anti-conversion law has happened, all these states are ruled by the current ruling party. Let's keep that on record.
Orissa is not.
Well, Orissa is not, but Orissa.
Then don't say all are.
Orissa historically, okay.
No, there are circumstances when they come to fore.
No, but
there may be a need.
No. Orissa, of course, there's a felt need primarily because of things that have
So
happened.
when circumstances and situations come to the fore, there may be a need felt.
But 5 states out of all
That's
the
what
states that
I'm
we have
telling you.
is-
You said all, I corrected you.
Okay, I stand corrected with regard to Orissa, but my moot point is that it's happened predominantly in states. But Father, I want you to respond to what I initially said. Please respond to what I said before Yati spoke.
Because what he said also has to be corrected.
Correct.
Because the Orissa is ruled by BJP, and whenever BJP
Yes, correct.
has been in trouble, BJD has come to its aid.
Yes. That's true.
Correct. Okay. So these are again facts on the ground. I take what Yatish said, and I completely take on record what you said as well. Yes,
Presidential election.
yes, correct. So, I mean, the Naveen Patnaik's relationship with the BJP is known. Let us put it this way. Anyway, that is not so much the point here. The point here is taking into account what I just said. Do respond to those points.
Yes. I will not digress.
Yes.
What is it?
No, the point that I made just before Yatish said is, why are we having this discussion? We are having this discussion primarily because that all of a sudden, in a very homogeneous, absolutely proper secular fabric that Goa has, why are these narratives coming in suddenly?
You see, very clear.
And all these years it did not come in. That's my point.
Very clear. There's no problem at all. There may be one case, if there is. To cater to one case, you don't make laws.
Correct.
Laws are for general situation, not for individual. First, you refer to harmony among all the communities in Goa,
Right.
especially Hindus and Christians,
Of course.
and Muslims also. Now, these people, RSS, BJP, and all their courts are thriving on disharmony. You take away the disharmony, these people will be thrown into the dustbin of history.
That's what I've said, Father. Now, just one
I
thing.
want to respond to it.
Yes,
No, wait.
yeah.
I will also.
You can add, Doctor.
Yeah. No. What happens? What Yatish has said. He says there is no law. That is why a law is being brought in. Fair enough. Now, if there is no law, under what law has Dominic and John been charged? How are they arrested? How was FIR law?
No, I didn't say that way. I said they have been charged perhaps on different provisions of the law, but I'm saying as far as the force, I didn't take this.
No, but the allegation against them is forced
conversion is
But the
concerned,
allegation
like
against them
states,
is forced conversion.
like other
You have
states,
registered an offense.
Like other states, there is a specific law to deal with forced conversions. That is what I'm saying.
No, but
law to deal
if
with
there is no law, under what provisions?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
No,
not that.
but
So this
let
government
me-
is
let me
lawless.
complete-
Please read the law.
Let me
Don't
I have read.
state it
I have read.
One by one.
Please read the law.
This government doctor is
There
lawless.
is no-
Let
there is- this is
Radhara-
a very strong statement to make, and father making this strong statement warrants my reply.
Yatish, I'll give you a
what
chance to
happened,
reply.
Yatish?
Just give me 2
Yeah,
minutes.
what
all
happens
supported
is,
you earlier,
the way
Remember
Yatish
that.
has responded,
Remember that.
Please,
All of us
answer
we
the-
supported.
Father, my humble request. Let Radhara finish.
the way Yatish has responded, it looks like the BJP is doing a big favor to the Roman Catholic Church in Goa
why are you saying that?
by bringing in this law, because the biggest conversions are taken from the Catholic Church. All these 5 Pillars Church, all these Pentecostal Church, Catholics are moving away. So now, Father, you have a chance.
Then you
Once
should
the
not
law
object.
comes, lodge complaint saying that this is forcible conversion.
Then you should
No,
not
we will
object.
See, I'm no one to answer for the authority.
No, I am just
I don't
pointing
represent.
out that it looks
I
like.
say,
If this
but I
is a
say
fact-
if suppose 50-70% of Catholics go and join that
Whatever.
whatever, I said yes, they want. They have freedom of conscience. Let them do it.
Yes.
Not like these BJPs who object.
See what
See, the
Dr.
issue is-
said. What Dr. said. If that is so, what he said, if that is so, then what is the problem for the bill?
No, I am not concerned with being Catholic.
Okay, I just have a point to make.
I'm not
if I
defending
may.
the Catholic
Okay, I just
issue.
have a point to make. See, the point that I'm making repeatedly in this is that in the Goa of today, or in the Goa of even 2022, 2021, along the last 7, 8 years, we need to answer, have there been any major complaints of the nature that one is fearing now? Number 2, has the fabric of society being tarnished or not? Number 3, is there an absolute bonhomie among different religions and faiths?
Yes.
The answer is an absolute emphatic yes.
We all
In the,
Absolutely.
so when the waters are so calm, it seems that there is an political attempt to ruffle the
Yes.
feathers. This is what is being felt in society. We are here to answer whether that is correct or not. That's all there is to this debate. So, Srinivas, then I'll ask Yatish to please
The
respond.
ruling party, the representative of ruling party has constantly been now here saying that he wants to bring a law on
I didn't say
conversion.
If it is so felt, that's what I
Forced
said.
Conversion, right?
For forced conversion.
And we are, all of us are asking him from where he suddenly felt that there is a force. On what basis?
Apprehension.
From where this even apprehension arises? Convergence, yes, convergence have been happening, not only in Goa, all over the world. From past, present, future, they will be there. But when you are saying forced conversion, there should be some basis to it to make such a statement. As Congress party, and now I will talk about my party, for past 2 days, we held our Now Sankalp meeting. We have deliberated on this issue, and we have, after end of 2 days, we have come up with a slogan, Goe Zodia, Ekvat Korea. We appeal to the people of Goa not to get swayed with some apprehensions and fears of unknown. We as Goan need to come together, stay together. And we expect, even yesterday our party president has made an appeal to BJP not to disturb the harmony of the state. We already as a state, we have a lot of issues in front of us, especially economic issues, livelihood issues of the people of Goa are more important. If there is any need for any law, government should come up with clean hands. Keep it in front of the people. You show exactly that, yes, this is what you mean by force. I have myself given you examples. What could be the wrong way of conversion? Has your government made any statement that such case has happened? How many cases have happened? On basis of one single incident, all of a sudden, you decide that there is a necessity of the law. Okay, but show no. How?
Okay, Yatish, quick response
Please
and we'll go to Farah.
understand.
Yeah.
Laws are necessitated to deal with circumstances and situations, not to deal with one case. Please understand this. So
Precisely.
whoever may try to misinterpret me, my thing remains constant, that law, if a situation, if a particular set of situations need to be tackled with a particular new law, then it is so necessitated and it can be brought into place so long as it fits the test of the law.
What are
Now,
No, one quick question.
first
if I may.
Srinivas said.
1 second.
No, let me answer first. and then you
I will,
answer.
Yatish, it's just a minor IA in the case. I'm only saying that what are the circumstances that have arisen according to you?
Listen to me. I'll point out to you.
Yeah.
First, he said that there is no need for a law. Then he said, if there is.
Don't try to put words in
No,
my
you
mouth.
said there is no need of a law.
I have asked you exactly what are
Then
the
you said if you are trying to bring a law, you should keep it
according
in
to-
public domain. And
Of course.
so therefore, the first is no need of a law. The second is
No.
if you
But-
bring a law, you should keep it before people. Now, if at all a law is made of any nature, not only on this subject, any nature a law is made, it is made in the assembly. Assembly has got his party also. So please understand, laws can be only made in the assembly, and only assembly will make the laws. So if at all any law is brought on any subject, there is bound to be a debate because it is passed through the assembly. Number two, father said, these BJP, therefore I want to say, BJP also believes in the harmonious relationship between everybody. Let this be very clear first of all. BJP believes that everybody should live together in perfect harmony. And if you see the number of minority MLAs also who get elected on BJP ticket and who are there in BJP, then I think that answer is this. Now, as far as one more issue is concerned about circumstances, what circumstances?
Yes.
See, when complaint is filed or complaints are filed, more than one, when they are filed, putting forth a particular set of facts, and when that particular set of facts
has to be dealt with more effectively. It can be dealt with by the existing laws, maybe to some extent. But if those set of facts and those set of circumstances have to be dealt with by a separate law to deal with the subject, then the law can be precipitated and necessitated.
Okay, I'll just ask you one question, very, very simple question. Put your hand on your heart, okay, and really tell us that do you really feel, as one of the most intelligent, articulate and studious Goans who knows society well, do you honestly feel that in our Goan society of today, there are apprehensions of the circumstances that you talk of which warrants such a law?
See, my way of looking at it is like this, Sujoy. See, it's like this. If the circumstances of this nature arise, which have arisen in some number, and if they have to be dealt with specifically, this need of law may be felt. But if these situations and these circumstances don't exist, then the law simply remains in the cupboard.
What do you feel?
The law remains in the cupboard.
What do you believe? At this point of time in Goa, do you feel that these situations exist or they don't exist?
When some
what do you
complaints have come to the fore.
One complaint.
When some complaints have come to the fore, it is because a particular set of situation has been brought to the notice of the authorities.
What do you believe?
No, the question of me believing doesn't arise. I have read your newspapers.
No, do you believe?
I have read from your newspapers that these particular set of circumstances have been reported.
Do you believe that this one particular complaint is reason enough to be
I am
apprehensive?
not talking of one complaint or X or whatever. I have read in your papers. I don't want to take names. There are some complaints which you all have reported. One or whatever.
No, not whatever. It's either one or whatever. No, it's one.
I have seen your papers, the papers in the fraternity.
Yes.
Where these type of instances, maybe one or whatever, have been reported. So if a law is felt to deal with specifically
on the basis of one complaint,
that's not the issue. I said circumstances need to be addressed.
Okay,
it's not one case.
Fair point.
Circumstances.
Fair point. But I'm saying, do you believe, as an individual, that there are circumstances in Goa which warrants this kind of an intervention?
Please understand.
He could have answered that question 6 months back.
Now
he's on a different platform.
My thing is, if you answer me, if a forced conversion comes within the definitional domain.
We are assuming forced conversions. Forced conversions.
Anyway,
that is the issue.
See, we are going back.
Otherwise, you correct me.
Unfortunately, we don't have a clear answer from Yatish as to what he believes.
No, I believe that, see, this state is a harmonious state. Everybody here lives in harmony.
Hence, there is no need
I have
for
also
such a law.
studied in these schools. I have only also
Hence, there is
studied
no need for such a law.
The question, see, this is your opinion. When a particular set of facts and circumstances necessitate a particular type of law, not only here, maybe in any other then that particular law has to be enacted to take care of the situation.
Okay, we'll take
Right
this
now,
as your
Yatish,
closing remarks. We'll do one more round of closing remarks. Yatish has made his closing remark. Father, you quickly, and then we'll.
Then you are going to not keep me this. You are going to hang me.
No, okay. What we'll do is let Father make his closing remarks.
Pronouncing the judgment.
No judgment here. Let
Well, let him
you
say
come
the
in
last.
order.
No, Father will come in order.
order.
Father will come in order.
Yes,
Please say. Please.
yes,
Please.
because we began with this order.
Yes. Okay. Let's have the order.
See, I feel there is no need of any anti-conversion law. There is no need at all. We are living in harmony. No fraudulent conversions are taking place. Therefore, to make such a law is only to fish in troubled waters. Fish where there is no fish.
Okay, Father. Quick. Yatish.
I feel
30 seconds.
I feel very, very strongly that this state, which is a harmonious state, will always remain a harmonious state. The mandate of Article 25 of the Constitution is a settled proposition. But if there are some situations and circumstances which have to be tackled with a specialized law, then a specific law can come into the domain to deal with those circumstances.
Fair enough.
I feel that these situations can be tackled better by Anti-Superstition Act, which is more secular and which will take care of all kind of situation, no matter what the religion is. If someone is doing something wrong, some Baba rapes a child, or 14-year-old, in the name of religion, or some Baba converting somebody by doing some magical remedies, that will be tackled by Anti-Superstition and Magical Remedies Act instead of Anti-Conversion Law.
Brother, last words.
Yeah, so what happens now, this conversion is not something new to Goa. Even before the Portuguese came here, there were large-scale conversions here. You see, the Gaud Saraswats were a strong homogeneous community and all were worshippers of Shiva, Adve. Now, it is only in Goa that Madhavacharya came and he preached in the 13th century against Shiva or whatever. And among the Goan Saraswats, except for those from Kortaling, Kelosi and Diwar,
Right.
they all embraced Vaishnavism. They renounced Shaivism and they converted to Vaishnavism.
Right.
And my friend Yatish Naik is descendant of one of those converts. So conversion is not something different.
Right.
Conversion is a natural process. If someone comes and preaches that Vaishnavism is better than Shaivism, I have the freedom to accept it.
Right.
Someone says X is better than Y. Why should the government interfere, man?
Right.
This conversion comes and goes. So I don't see why the government should interfere at all.
Okay, so the thing is, I will end this. It's been a heated and a very intense kind of a debate, but I'll end with one particular word, and that word is motive. And in the dictionary and otherwise, motive is defines motive means, and very clearly is a reason for doing something. That is what a motive is. In every fact of life, and especially law, and we have very eminent lawyers here, motive is what is most important in any act, whether it is an act of jurisprudence or legislation or policing or even politics. So at the end of the day, I think the answer to all that we have been discussing, and some very important points have been put forward, is what the motive is. Whether the motive is genuine, whether the motive is well thought out, and whether the motive is for the benefit of a homogeneous society, then these kind of laws can have any basis. If the motive is otherwise and seeks to divide, then the purpose is sinister and uncalled for. Let us leave it at that. That is something for the people of Goa to decide, the people of Goa and all those who love Goa and love this country to decide. We end with only this particular thought, that when we go back, let us always figure out what the motive for different actions are, and that might give us a lot of answers. I thank all my panelists for engaging us with such deep insights and deep examples and thoughts which will stand us all in very good stead. I thank them once again for this debate. Thank you very much.